How's it going, guys? Welcome to another live stream coming to you live from San Diego, California. Your driver Mike here, and I want to welcome you to another live stream. Definitely let me know where you're watching from in the live chat. So today we're going over some delivery strategy here in the gig economy, and we're going to give you a few examples, and we're going to talk about what's the best strategy when it comes to delivery. It's really not that big of a secret. It's one power tip, and especially if you're new to delivery. Hey, if you're just thinking about signing up for some of these platforms, DoorDash, Amazon Flex, Postmates, you need to be aware of the options of how to make the most money. We're going to talk about today. I'll talk about that today. So let me know where you're watching from in the live chat. And you may have noticed something a little bit different on the setup for today. We got the Philips Hue lights as always over on that side, showing some particular colors today. We're going to get into that. A few new features on the live stream as well. You guys now have the option in the live chat, this is exclusively if you're watching this in the live chat, to enter these commands on the left side, exclamation point, and the following commands to get links to sign up for popular platforms. So if you're joining in the live chat, you can simply enter exclamation free Lyft for free Lyft rides. If you're interested in signing up for DoorDash, one of the platforms that we're going to talk about today, you can simply enter exclamation drive DoorDash and all of the commands that you're seeing here in this list. A brand new feature to the live stream. If you want to look at any of these links, if you want more info, of course they're linked down below in the description, but you can simply enter these prompts as well. So today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm excited for this, guys. I'm excited. We're actually going to play a game, and I'm going to test you on your rideshare knowledge. So we're going to do a little event here to show you strategy. And I'm going to let you decide if you think these delivery requests are worth it or not. So let's show you what we're going to be doing here today. And it's going to be called, Is It Worth It? And I'm going to give you a few examples of delivery requests, and you're simply going to tell me, is it worth it? So check this out. I'll give you the kind of start here. So this is what we're doing today. Is it worth it? And now you can see where the Philips Hue lights came into play, the green and the red. So what we're going to do during this live stream, and hey, if you're watching this in the rebroadcast, you can play along too, is I'm going to give you a few examples of, again, delivery requests. And just to simply start, I want you to think about what app you're looking at, the delivery request on the screen, and hey, like those apps that you swipe left and right to decide, that's what you're going to do here with the delivery request. You're going to tell me, hey, is it worth it? Yes or no. So let's jump right into it, guys. I'm going to give you a few examples here. I'm going to give you some time to think about it, and you let me know, is it worth it? Yes or no, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the delivery request. So number one, this request is coming from Postmates. Let's take a look. Request number one, Postmates. Do you think this request is worth it? Think about it. Look at the request here and let me know. So let me explain what we're looking at. Again, you're looking at the Postmates app. Currently, you're looking at a delivery request, and it doesn't show on the screenshot here, but we're actually not far away from this request. So keep in mind, this wouldn't be a far drive time. And if you're not familiar with Postmates, what you're looking at is a starting point indicated by the shopping bag, and you're looking at a ending destination, which is shown by the dot on the top left, if you can see that up there, Follow the line to the delivery destination. So what do you guys think? For the pickup that you're seeing on the shopping bag, that's pickup A, right? Delivery point to the dot B. Follow the line, pretty simple, right? Also note that on the top of the screen, pick up one order, right? It's a single order, okay? Just to make, now this is the first time you're looking at Postmates, I want to explain a little bit about what you're seeing here. You're doing one pickup, but hey, there's a $4 bonus. So you're getting an extra $4 plus your standard pay, plus any applicable tips. You may get a tip, you may not. Let's look at the chat here. Pedro says yes. Pedro, thanks for being here. Ron S says yes. Rough Soccer, thanks for being here. Yes, that's near SDSU, correct. This is near San Diego State University. Pedro says it's in bonus time and it's fast. Here's a pro tip for you guys. If you're new to delivery, or hey, if you've been doing delivery for a while now, take a look at the time at the top of the app. It's 5:49 p.m. You should know, or if you don't, if you're new to these apps, hey, that's dinner time. That's when these apps are super busy. Lunchtime, dinner time, a little bit of breakfast, let's say, but typically it's dinner time when these apps peak for delivery, right? Pedro says, and you have a $4 bonus, it's at least $8. And I agree with you guys. This is a yes. Yeah, it's a $4 bonus. I mean, you're going to get probably $4 or $5 on the standard pay. And hey, if you have good service, I emphasize good service. It's a micro interaction, I say. When you actually are at the delivery point, it's not going to take a lot of time, but you want to have good service at the delivery point to hopefully earn a tip. So did you get that one right? Let me know. Let's show you number 2. Is it worth it? This one is on a different app, if you've noticed. This is on DoorDash. So this is actually a great point for anyone new to delivery. If you know someone or you yourself want to sign up for a delivery app, this is great because you can see what the screens look like. I mean, instead of signing up, going through the entire onboarding process, this is great because you can know what to expect, what the screens look like when you get a ride request or a delivery request rather. So if you're looking to sign up for these platforms or you know someone that's looking to sign up, feel free to hit the share button, send this to them. If you're watching live or the rebroadcast, make sure to share this. Is this worth it? Let's do a breakdown here. You can see the blue dot on the top middle of the app. That's where we're at. You can see the predicted drive route indicated in the blue line. Driving to the pickup point indicated by the fork and knife as we're doing a food delivery, of course. And you can see the little home icon for the delivery destination. Okay, what else should we consider? Let's look at the time again. 6:36 p.m., guys. Again, right in that delivery rush. And a good thing here to note on DoorDash is there's a little bit of there's a prediction, right? Deliver by 7:07 p.m. that you can see there. So it kind of gives you an idea, right? It's going to take about 30 minutes to do this delivery. Let's continue down the app. Okay, we see it's from Taco Bell. 4.8 miles in total, right, for the entire trip. You are guaranteed $8.93. That's your standard pay. But hey, it looks like because this is during the dinner hour, we're getting a $3 bonus. Note it says if conditions for peak pay are met. Some of these apps, guys, require a minimum acceptance rate, typically 80%. You shouldn't have a problem with that as long as you're accepting most of your runs, of course. What do you guys think? My question to you, is it worth it? Ron says yes. Rough Soccer says I'd say yes, even though it's around the 15 freeway and it's rush hour. Now we're getting into some pro tips Rough Soccer mentions, guys. Keep this in mind. I really want to stress this, especially if you're new to delivery. or really the gig economy in general, anything with the car, right? Yeah, it's 6:36 p.m. Now, depending on your market, remember traffic, okay? Because at least here in San Diego, a lot of those congested markets, traffic's usually pretty slammed still around 6:30. Now, maybe your market tapers off around 6:30 and your major arteries, highways are pretty good. Keep that in mind. Couple more seconds here. If you're watching this on the rebroadcast, is it worth it? Yes. In my opinion, yeah, it's worth it. This is the peak time. You can see we're on a boost incentive. We get an extra $3, and typically this is for a range of time. If you're new, listen to this. Or hey, if you just need a refresher, is a lot of these apps will give you a boost. I'll come back to you here, guys. A lot of these apps will give you a boost during certain windows. So let's say 5 to 7, 8 p.m. Around that dinner rush, they'll say, hey, as long as you accept 80% of your delivery requests, you'll earn an extra $3. So that's most likely what we're seeing here. Again, make sure to read the conditions of that window because you may have a minimum acceptance rate that you have to maintain. But in my opinion, hey, looks pretty good. Let's take that one. How you guys doing so far? Hopefully you're 2-0. So let's give you another example here. And hey, if you're just joining right now, we're playing a game in the delivery field, in the gig economy delivery sector called Is It Worth It? Where I show you different apps and a screenshot of a delivery request. And we're simply saying to you, hey, is it worth it? And you're gonna swipe left or swipe right, in your mind at least. Is it worth it, right? Example number 3, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Okay, let's analyze the request here. At the top of the app, we see 6:48 p.m. Okay, pick up one order. This is on Postmates. You can see on the left side of the app, it's a little crowded there, but you can see a small car icon with a shopping bag. As we indicated in example 1, that's the pickup spot, the shopping bag, right? So let's follow the line. It looks like there's one order, but there's 2 bullet points for stopping points, perhaps. We'd have to consider that, what exactly that means here. I'm going to assume that our final destination is that last dot on the far right side. Now, you can have multiple orders at one restaurant, but this one says pick up one order. Interesting. We can see the restaurant name at the bottom, and it doesn't particularly matter. Only as you start to become a real master in your market, you'll say, okay, hey, I've picked up there before. I know they're either fast or slow. They're ready for their food, with their food usually, or not. I know that parking is easy or not. Consider that too. For this restaurant, for example, I know it's in a small plaza, and there's usually some parking. But if you're in the heart of downtown, if you're in some other areas, remember that. Is okay, well, I gotta park somewhere too. This isn't like rideshare, of course. And let's also note that I don't see any payout. The other examples we've shown, there's been some payout guarantees. It lets us know how much money we're gonna get as a minimum, right? I don't see that. What do you guys think? Is it worth it? A few more seconds. Do you think it's worth it? Susan, thanks for being here, says yes. Ron says yes. This is an interesting one, guys. I don't know if I take this. I don't know if I take this. Now, let's look at the yes side. Yes, because you can see my car in the pickup spot or in the immediate area. Pickup is super easy. I don't have to travel far. That's fantastic. However, the delivery location, I'm not sure about the map here, what they're telling me. Now, maybe I want to head eastbound to that final destination, I'm assuming. But again, there's no guaranteed pay. Do I want to head all the way eastbound, or strategy-wise, is there something that makes more sense? Here's what I'll tell you, is that if you are going to take this run, let me come back here to you guys. If you're going to take this run, I would at least have another app running consecutively. Here's a pro tip for you guys if you're new especially, is sign up for multiple delivery platforms. If you're on Uber Eats, Grubhub, Amazon Flex, DoorDash, Postmates, some markets have Caviar. There's a lot of options. So if you can, and a lot of these apps, acceptance rate really doesn't matter. Just make sure to pause and stop incoming deliveries when it's when you're safely able to do so. But is this the best option? Let's take a look again. Is this the best money option for me? I don't know. But if this works for you, if you're heading that direction anyway, maybe it's close to home, go for it. So guys, I'm going to show you another example here. This one's a little bit different. It's a little bit different here. And I think this one's pretty straightforward. I'm going to show it to you anyway, but I'm going to give you less time on this one. Is it worth it? Let's take a look. Rough Soccer on the last request says, it looks like a long drive, no indication on payout. That's what I'm saying. It did look like a longer drive. Is this one worth it? Now, let's take a look at what we're looking at here. This is on Postmates. Disregard the time at the top. Let's look at the details of this deal. Details at the bottom middle of the screen here. Sunday, February 24th, okay, from 12 a.m. until at night, 11:30 p.m., basically all day. We can see earn $125 on your next 10 deliveries, guaranteed. Interesting. If we focus on the middle of the map, we can see a kind of green-blue shaded area for the live market where this promo is active. What do you think? Is this worth it? So this is saying, hey, earn $125 on your next 10 deliveries, $12.50, of course, per delivery guaranteed. What do you guys think? Is this worth it? This is on a Sunday again. It looks like we have a pretty wide open window. Basically all day Sunday, 12 a.m., so it's basically all day until 11:30 p.m. I'm going to give you guys a few more seconds on this one. Now, for me, this one's worth it. I see you guys in the chat, Absolute Rideshare, thanks for being here, says no. Rough Soccer says, not sure, to be honest, doesn't look that attractive. This is interesting. It looks like we have different answers here on the last two requests. I'll tell you why I would absolutely go for this one. Is you get $12.50 guaranteed on every delivery. For 10 deliveries. I see no indication of acceptance rating. And it's all day. Think about this, is knowing this, I can spread out my 10 deliveries throughout all of that Sunday. If I see a surge on Amazon Flex, if I see incentives on DoorDash, on Uber Eats, I can take those too. There's no indication here. Now I know it's a little cut off, but trust me when I say this, there's no indication that these need to be consecutive. There's no acceptance rating threshold that's saying, hey, you have to accept 80% of your requests, what have you. It just says you do 10 deliveries, you get $125. Remember, some of the incentives we've seen so far give you around, $9, $10, $11. Remember that Taco Bell run we saw earlier was about $12. This is $12.50 on every delivery. I think that's pretty good. Pedro says 10 deliveries for a full day. It's not so hard, I believe you're trying to say there, Pedro. Absolute Rideshare says better chance to make more money on other apps. See, that's a great point, guys. This is great that we're doing this exercise because there's a lot to consider. Is if you know your market, if you can make more than $125 for 10 deliveries, I say go for it. But if I would go for this, I would definitely go for it. Like once I commit to this, you kind of got to go for it. because if you don't hit it, you're not going to get it. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but traditionally Postmates pays a little bit less per delivery. How you guys doing so far? I'm going to come back to you here. Hey, can you do me a favor? Right now, before we go into the next example, can you please just leave a like on this live stream really quickly? It shows me that you get value in this live stream and the content on this channel. More eyes on the channel, more people on the Your Driver Mike team. And of course, since we're operating here on the YouTube ecosystem, it boosts us in YouTube's almighty algorithm. If you haven't done so already, if you can please do me a favor and leave a like on this live stream. How's your score so far? Hopefully pretty good. By the way, guys, if you want to consider dropping a super chat, those are always appreciated. And apparently now it changes the entire studio, not just one light. If you guys don't know, a super chat is basically like a tip on YouTube. You can do it by hitting the $ button in the live chat down below. And again, apparently now it will change the color of the entire studio to the corresponding super chat color level. Of course, not mandatory, always appreciated. Some new features on the live stream here for you guys. Let's jump back into another example. Is it worth it? I'm having fun playing this game with you guys. Let's jump in. Is it worth it? Hey, Chocolate Slayer, what happened? I'm late. Guys, if you're just joining, we're playing a game called Is It Worth It? Where I show you screenshots of delivery requests, and we just simply say, hey, is it worth it? You left swipe, you right swipe. Is it worth it? Right now, let's take a look. You're looking at DoorDash. Okay, cool. 3 minutes before 7 p.m. Again, still in that heart. Hey guys, just so you know, another pro tip is, at least in my opinion, what I've seen, the delivery rush really tapers off around 8 p.m. From 8 to 9, I've seen that there's kind of sporadic requests. It can be hit or miss. Really after 9 p.m. it really tapers off entirely until you hit possibly that post-bar munchie crowd that's getting that late night food, maybe a little bit closer to 1 a.m. or so. So let's look at this one. Oh, check it out, guys. Oh my gosh, is it just gonna keep going? I think it's just gonna. Oh, it just stopped. Thanks for this. Somebody try the super chat. Chocolate Slayer, thanks for the super chat. Am I driving E3? Is that the video game conference or something? E3, I believe. Oh, I'm just watching on the rebroadcast. That's awesome. Chocolate Slayer, thank you so much for the super chat. So if you don't know, guys, Chocolate Slayer just dropped a $5 super chat. And we also have the new feature that, yes, it it animates the entire studio with the blinking lights as well as matching the color of his super chat. That is really cool, and it worked exactly like it was supposed to work. That highly appreciated. Thank you so much, guys. That's awesome. I'm so pumped that worked. That's so cool. So guys, is it worth it? Chiba Hut, 5.4 miles total. Okay, $7.83, a very, by the way, guys, hey, if you don't know, if you're new to DoorDash and you want to know exactly how DoorDash pays you, and it's a little controversial, I'll link that video right now in a card above on the rebroadcast. Educate yourself on how they pay you. It's very interesting, I'll tell you that. Chiba Hut, $7.83, 5.4 miles. We can see the blue dot. That's where I'm at. You can see the pickup. I'm at the blue dot. I'm at the pickup spot, basically. I'm right on it. And we can see the delivery spot at the home icon. What do you guys think? Is it worth it? Quaker Oats said, did you have an earthquake? We had a super chat earthquake. Quaker Oats, that's a really, really neat feature that I just installed, that you can take control of the studio via the internet and change the lights in the studio as well as having the blinking animation. That's really cool. Ron S says, no, 5.4 miles, it has to pay more. Quaker Oats says, all DoorDash orders are worth it since you really don't want to decline orders. Interesting. So here's my thoughts. There's no earnings incentives. Okay. Let's look at the miles. Ron comments that 5.4 miles is too far. And guys, remember, you can deduct, oh, it's 57, I believe, 57 or 58 cents per mile for 2019 business driving. And these, I'll come back to you here, guys. For any business miles, you can write off 57 and a half. I'll have to check on that. I'll leave it in the comments down below. Cents per mile that you drive. So in essence, if this is doing 5.4 miles, let's just divide it in half. You're going to spend about $2-ish, well, a little bit more, $2.75 for this run, okay, as far as your overall business expenses. So subtract about $2.75 from this, maybe $5 total net for this run. I don't know. I feel like I would take this. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the live chat or the comments. I feel like I would take this solely because the distance isn't too bad. I'm headed, you can see, directly south. And I mean, I live right around that San Diego State University area that you're seeing up there up top. So it's not too far from home. I would anticipate hopefully getting one back. This is a swing one for me. But 783, that's definitely higher than Postmates, right? But there's no earnings incentives. Interesting. So let's show you guys another one. So what we're going to do, we have 1, 2, 3 more, and then I'm going to give you a breakdown and show you why this is so important to really measure your delivery requests and really be strategic with which ones you accept. Now this one, I'm not even going to say anything really about this one, guys. Let's do our analysis on this. Is it worth it? We have one pickup order. Okay. It's 6:45 p.m., guys. There you can see the heat of delivery. It's really, 5 p.m. until, again, about 8 p.m. or so. Now, this one's a little different as far as direction. You can see where I'm at with my vehicle icon on the right side of the app. If we look on the left side of the app, again, we see our shopping bag. This is on the Postmates platform. And we see the delivery point, which is the dot following the line, of course, on the left-hand, the furthest side of the app. We can see our restaurant, per usual. But here's the big thing. Interesting, look at the top of the app. We have a 1.25x surge plus a $4 bonus. Is this worth it? What do you guys think? We are going to have to drive to the restaurant. It looks like we're going to have to take the freeway. So it is a little further of a drive. Now the delivery destination doesn't seem too far from that shopping bag in the restaurant area. It's one order. Okay. We do have a 1.25x plus the $4 bonus and plus hopefully a tip. What do you guys think? Rough Soccer, who may be based in San Diego as well from the comments, says it could be hard to find parking at Fashion Valley, but it looks like it still worth it. Ron says, yes, bonus looks good. And to give you guys a little background, yes, this is in a large mall titled Fashion Valley. A few more seconds, guys. What do you think? Is it worth it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pedro at the last second says they don't pay you to go to the restaurant. It's too far. Interesting. My thoughts, guys, yes, it's worth it. I understand the distance, but for the 1.25 plus the $4 bonus plus a hopeful tip, I know tips are not always guaranteed. I think this one is absolutely worth it. Now let's think about the parking issue. That's a real thing. If you're in delivery, think about this. This is a real issue that I've encountered when doing delivery. If you're doing deliveries at these large malls, and you'll have requests literally within the food court. You have to go inside. Try to get a feel for the mall. Okay, is it one of those outside restaurants that's on the border of the mall? You can simply just go in right there. or do you have to go in the actual mall? Usually these food courts are in the center of the mall, and go into the food court. Now this stacked, I know two things. One, there's a very large parking garage. It's free, okay? And typically there's some parking. And number two, and probably the biggest factor, is this stacked restaurant is on the outside of the mall. It's right on the perimeter on the outside of the mall. I simply have to cross the parking garage and go into the restaurant. Something else to consider, I've had delivery requests up north in La Jolla, California, and the mall center up there, I believe it's called UTC Westfield, if I'm remembering correctly. And there's really no perimeter restaurants, at least not off the top of my head. There's restaurants in the surrounding area, but that can be a big pain. You know what, it's a big headache, guys, is trying to park in one of these mega malls, going inside the actual complex, pretty deep inside the complex, and trying to navigate the people and finally go up to the restaurant. That could be a pain. So keep that in mind. But this one, I'd go for it. 1.25x plus $4 plus the standard pay. Remember that, guys. Plus the standard pay. Sure, let's do it. Chocolate Slayer says that's like a 10-minute to pick up location. You know, I did do this one. I don't think it was a 10-minute pickup to the destination, but I won't disagree with that. It probably was, now that I'm thinking about it, close to 10 minutes. Yes. Because as you can see, we need to go on north, Highway North, and we have to go west, of course, on that Interstate 8. But for me, the 125 plus the $4 plus the hopeful tip, we went with this one. But this is great. This is exactly why I wanted to give you guys a few examples here. Speaking of examples, let's go into our next one. How you guys doing so far? You're winning. What's your score right now? Let me know in the live chat or down below in the comment section. Interesting to what your score is right now. So here's another example on a different app. Most likely pretty straightforward for you, but I want to show you a few different scenarios. I'm showing you not only per delivery, yeses and nos, but also incentives like this. This is for DoorDash. If you're new to DoorDash, take a look at this one. Now, this time, the app is telling us, well, hey, as long as you're in the red zone, as long as that zone is red, it's active to take deliveries. You can see just south of us in the next zone on DoorDash, this is a great tip if you're new to DoorDash. That zone is grayed out, right? It's grayed out, there's no red, and we can see a $5.50 incentive there, but we cannot accept deliveries there. The zone that we're currently in is red, and there's a $4.50 delivery. What does that mean? If you're new to DoorDash, what does that mean? This means that you'll earn an extra $4.50 per delivery. Now, DoorDash does have a time window as well as an acceptance rate threshold. If you accept this, typically it's an 80% acceptance rating. Shouldn't have a problem with it, but keep that in mind. You don't want to ignore too many delivery requests if you're doing these incentives on DoorDash. What do you guys think? Is this worth it? Ralph Soccer says you have to charge your phone battery. You're at 17%. No worries. This is a screenshot, but yes, at the time, I needed to charge the phone. Actually, here's a funny point about that, guys. Take a look at this. I'm going to come back to you for a second. Is if you didn't know this, or if you're new to Postmates, Postmates actually forcibly logs you off of the delivery app. You can no longer take deliveries if your phone is at 10% or lower. Interesting. So they say, hey, just a warning, you're going to be logged off as you have low battery. And they do that at 10%. So if you're driving Postmates, keep that phone juiced up. I'm going to reset the Philips Hue lights, guys. The Philips Hue lights are back up for grabs if you want to take control of the entire studio. and cause a super chat light earthquake in here with our brand new animation. They are now back up for grabs. I'll give you guys another second on this one as we reset the lights. You only have a few more seconds on this one, guys. 5, 4, 3. All right. Yeah, I would take this one. Now, with DoorDash, typically it's a longer commitment for me. What I mean by that is if I'm going to go online with DoorDash, when you do go online, it's going to ask you, okay, you can see here again, it's 4:51 p.m. at the top of the screen. Before you can go online, they're going to ask you, okay, well, when do you want to dash till? Dashing meaning being online, accepting order requests. And you have to enter a time, a minimum of 30 minutes for your delivery assignment, right? So DoorDash is kind of locking you in there. Now, do you have to deliver for that entire window? Here's a great question if you're new to DoorDash. If I say, okay, I'm going to go online from 5 until 6 p.m., do I have to deliver all the way until 5? No, you don't. That's great flexibility. Initially, when I signed up and I started driving DoorDash, I thought that was the case. No, you can actually go in there. You can say end dash. I want to end my dash, end my shift, and you can do that at any time. Now, keep in mind, if you're driving one of these incentives that says you have to have a 80% acceptance rating, and you don't, when you end your dash, you're not going to qualify for this, in this case, a $4.50 bonus. So if you are going to end your shift early, just make sure, please make sure that you've satisfied the acceptance rate requirements. But hey, if you've accepted enough delivery requests, sure, you can stop your shift early. Things come up, right? So we're going to give you just a few more examples, guys. Actually, no, that was the last one. So let's show you the results. I'm going to show you one kind of example here specifically. And hey, if you haven't done so already, guys, can you please leave a like in this live stream? If you're getting value in this live stream and the content on the channel, gets more people in here, more eyes on the Your Driver Mike channel. And hey, of course, since we're streaming right here on YouTube, it is based on an algorithm. It boosts us in YouTube's almighty algorithm. If you haven't done so already, consider leaving a like. Appreciate it, guys. So let's show you something. Some results. Show me the numbers. Let's look at some of the numbers. This is what can happen if you're really, really sharp on capitalizing on the right incentives. Ron says you can always end your dash early. Exactly, confirming that last point there. And Ron would take that last DoorDash incentive. So what we're looking at here is the results. The results of my last Sunday. Today's Tuesday. This is from this last Sunday. As you can see on the left-hand side, there was a $4 per delivery bonus from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. Here's something special to remember is a lot of these apps, guys, they're very sensitive to popular events in a marketplace. So yeah, 5 p.m. until 10 p.m., that's typically dinner time, but I do not typically get a $4 incentive. Why did I get a $4 incentive? Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, yeah, watch Game of Thrones. Let me know in the live chat in the comments. But the Game of Thrones premiere was big enough that most likely a lot of people were staying in, they were having watch parties, and they were ordering in food. So something that I've always said is ABC, always be checking your apps. I recommend you sign up for as many as you can. We have links down below in the description. Those are affiliate links. And just check your apps, simply check your apps. If you're even thinking about driving, right? Or at least just to be in the know on incentives and trends, just check your app. Just pop it open, see what's going on. So I was looking at Postmates and I said, oh wow, $4 per delivery plus your standard pay, you're basically driving on a double pay bonus. Because on average, Postmates pays about, let's say, $5 per delivery, right? I'm getting an extra 4 in essence. Plus possible tips. Hey, Rideshare Dan, thanks for being here. Rideshare Dan says, hi, Mike. So let's make sense of this. On the left-hand side, $4 per delivery, 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. That's right around the Game of Thrones premiere. It was 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. This was right in the heart of the premiere. So I said, hey, absolutely, I'm going for this all day. There's no cap on that, $4 for every single delivery. You want to rapid fire those deliveries. As many as you can, you get an extra $4. Take a look at the right-hand side. These are the deliveries that I did. You can see I went online, or I took my first order at 5:49 p.m. and we continued up until 9:07 p.m. And I probably could have gone all the way till 10. So you can see here we had 1, 2, 3, 4 tips out of 5, 6, 7 deliveries. I tell you guys, service is important even in those micro interactions for delivery. That's a great ratio, 4 out of 7. In my opinion, it matters in those few seconds that you have with the customer. Now, obviously, you want to do all the other things right, have a hot and cold bag, make sure all the items are there, secure their food in your vehicle so it doesn't tip over, of course, all of that good stuff. So check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to give you another example here. Pedro says that New York City doesn't have those promos. And let's talk about who has promos, what to look for, what's the prevalence, how common is a promo in your marketplace. So what I see is probably going to be different than what you see. Different markets, different states. Depends on if you're in a driver-saturated market, if you're in probably a new market, is going to all go into consideration when these companies consider what promos they're going to give out to you as a driver. Hey, more reason to sign up for as many apps as you can, because keep this in mind, guys. Worst case scenario, this is a great example. Worst case scenario, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You sign up for DoorDash, you sign up for Postmates, whatever it is. Maybe you'll do a couple deliveries and you find you like one app more than the other. What's the worst case scenario? It doesn't cost you anything, okay? And of course, maybe some of your time, of course. But you don't like it, you don't like it. And you look at other apps, right, in the gig economy. But as we can see here, I'll show you another example right now. Let's take a look right now. It can be very rewarding if you know how to master these apps. So let me give you an example. Look where we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orders down. Highlighted with our purple arrow, 2 deliveries at 6:45 p.m., $15.02 plus $5.24 tip. Hey, there's that restaurant again, stacked. Okay, let's take a look at the middle screenshot here. 2 deliveries. I'll explain what happened here, guys. Hey, Apple Life, thanks for being here. Detroit has promos. And Pedro saying that New York City doesn't have promos. Hey, maybe one app doesn't have promos. Maybe another does. Maybe it has more promos than the other. You gotta kind of have that far spread so you have your options open. So again, looking at this center screenshot, let me detail what happened here. So we went to this restaurant. Again, it was on the outside of a mall. And I picked up the 2 orders from one restaurant. And yes, I get double the pay, double the bonus on that. It's 2 orders. Now, what better scenario than that? I had no extra driving, but I still get double the bonus. And if you shift your attention to the far right screenshot, you can see that confirmed at the bottom. 2 bonuses times $4. I got the $8 there. We have the $1 for the pickup, because again, there was 1 pickup, but 2 drop-offs. Now, obviously, there's 2 orders, there's 2 drop-offs for customers. You get $1 for each drop-off. You have the rates for the time and the miles. They don't pay a lot, I'll tell you that, guys. They don't pay a lot in delivery. You can see 64 cents a mile for delivery, right? But you do make up some of that in the tips, hopefully. We can see our bonus was a total of $13.96. $5.24 of that was a tip. Now, I don't know if they were just in a good mood. I don't know that if they liked how I kept their food warm because I had a hot and cold bag. If they appreciated that I was careful not to spill any beverages, if they had beverages. I don't know if they liked my customer service, that I deliver in a good mood, I'm pleasant. Oh, Ron with the super chat. I don't see any blinking on this one, Ron. I do appreciate the super chat. I think, oh, I know why. I know. Ron drops a $2 super chat. Good video, Mike. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ron, for the $2 super chat. The blinking light earthquake, we'll say, is at the $5 super chat range, which is the green level, which we saw earlier. So to have the blinking animation that is at the $5 super chat, but nonetheless, hey, Ron, I do appreciate the $2 super chat. That is awesome. Going back to the right side of our app here, I had the $5.02 from the tip. No, what I was saying was I don't know necessarily where that came from, but you should set yourself up the best way you can to get a tip. Do all of those things. Guys, you have to do all of those things. Secure the food, hot and cold bag, deliver with a smile, just be general. You don't have to be overly friendly, right? But just be generally friendly. That's all you can do. Don't overdo it. Don't sweat over trying to be perfect. Just be pleasant. Do the small things right when it comes to delivery. That's what's gonna set yourself up best for tips. I'll tell you one more thing, guys, is if you are delivering during these big events, secret here, guys, especially during the Super Bowl. That's a pro tip for you guys. Especially during the Super Bowl and big sporting events. People tip all day. People have big tips for these sporting events and these events. Actually, one of these customers, I remember, she was in a fantastic mood. She was such a great customer. She was so happy. I love that. It just rubs off on me. It was really a great interaction. She came down from her apartment complex, and now keep this in mind also, some of these apps, they require you to go to the door. Some you do not go to the door, like Uber Eats, although I have seen the option on the customer side that it gives you the prompt to have the driver come to your door. But for most all cases, I've gone out to a Uber Eats driver to do a pickup. But anyway, she came down from her apartment and she said, oh, I paused the Game of Thrones premiere to get this food. And I said, oh my gosh, get back in there, watch the show. Really a funny interaction. She had a great attitude. Just little things like that, right? Instead of just being like, oh, yeah, it's just having a good time with your customers, even if it was literally 10-second interaction, and it could have been from something from that. So I have one more thing to show you guys. Well, it's just a summary of that order, basically. Let me pull that up real quick. Just a summary. So from that one pickup, we did $20.26. And you can see, look at the left side, for a distance of 4.73 miles. It only cost us about $2.35 to do this delivery. 4.73 miles. Now, remember, these apps, they don't consider your time or your miles from your current destination to the restaurant. Let me repeat that. These apps do not consider and do not pay you for the distance where you're currently at to the restaurant. They'll start their pay timer for time and miles once you get to the restaurant. So that's another important thing. Make sure to check in on the app that you're at the restaurant, because that's basically starts the clock, right? So consider that, right? That's why it's important to log your miles. What I did during this is I always reset my odometer before I start driving for anything in the gig economy, because remember, you can write off those business miles. But let's just take it at face value here. 4.73 miles, I did a $20.26 dual delivery to 2 customers. Pretty awesome. So back to you again, guys. One more time here. I appreciate you watching this live stream. We had some really cool super chats to drop today. I hope you guys enjoyed playing the first ever installment of Is It Worth It? I really like this. I think this was really fun. Great way to get you guys thinking, get you involved. have a discussion of, hey, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? And we have to really analyze, why is it worth it? Why is it not worth it? And you guys brought up different factors of each, right? So if you enjoyed this segment of Is It Worth It, definitely let me know by leaving a like in this live chat or down below in the comments if you're watching the rebroadcast. I would love to do more of these and in different sectors as well. I think this was pretty cool. So if you guys have any questions, I'm looking in the live chat right now, or if you're watching this in the rebroadcast, definitely post your questions down below in the comment section. Brian says, I quit before I even started. I quit with what? The game today? Or driving on a certain app. But I don't see any questions. So with that, guys, hey, I'm going to let you guys go. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being on another live stream. Let me say this quick heads up for you guys is we're doing a live stream this weekend. It's going to be either Saturday or Sunday. I haven't decided yet. But that's going to be another Airbnb live stream with my brother streaming from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, talking about how to succeed on the Airbnb hosting platform. Those are always exciting live streams, and we're going to do another one. That's been a great series coming up this weekend here. So if you look forward to that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And hey, guys, thanks for being here, and I will see you guys in the next one.